Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Since 1955, Evers Construction has been the company folks have trusted for residential and commercial construction projects. Today, Evers is still the leader in building and is just as committed to maintaining. From residential to commercial and industrial, Evers' team of experts stands ready to install, service, and repair all your HVAC and plumbing needs. Specializing in leak repair, maintenance, air duct cleaning and repair, air handler service, drain cleaning, gas line work, emergency unit repair, inspections, and more. Evers Construction offers a preventative maintenance package to keep your home or business cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Trained, trusted, reliable. For more information or to schedule an appointment with the pros who know, phone 931-762-3593 or visit eversconstructionco.com. Evers Construction Company in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Carriers has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay now starting at $20 per hour, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website, southeastcarriers.com, or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Since opening our doors in 1904, Builtwell Bank has existed to be the local economic engine for the communities we serve. No matter if you're buying a car, saving for retirement, or finally buying that forever home, Builtwell Bank is here to help. From personal checking and savings accounts to a full suite of business and commercial banking with treasury management services, we'll make sure you'll have a dedicated Builtwell banker that understands your unique needs and stands by you every step of the way. No matter where you are in Tennessee or Northwest Georgia, there's likely a Builtwell Bank location nearby. Come see us and let our dedicated financial team help you with all of your banking needs. Member FDIC.
Here at Fields and Brown Barbershop, legacy means a lot. We're trying to fill big shoes left by my two uncles and my grandfather, where every haircut came with conversation and every customer left a little taller than when they walked in. The barbershop is about pride. It's about knowing your barber knows your name and your story. Come see us at Fields and Brown Barbershop, where tradition never goes out of style. 3 generations, 1 legacy, your barbershop.
The Raptor Series from Hustler Turf. A premium line of residential mowers designed with a wide stance for operator comfort. A one-piece 11-gauge steel frame and welded steel deck for added durability. Finished off with premium Kawasaki V-twin power. We are Hustler Turf, and this is Hustler Country.
What really matters during the ball game, we're at that point in the season where some are just beginning, some have already ended, and others are at that point where it's either win or go home. Depending on what your perspective is, it changes everything, doesn't it? In 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 18, we're reminded we don't look at the things that are seen, but at the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are temporary, but the things that are unseen are eternal. Keep your focus, keep your perspective on the right things, the things of God, the eternal things. And that message brought to you by your friends at the Leoma Church of Christ.
a local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome back here to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Hayden Burks, and Michael Marks. Guys, it's been a while. We've been busy, all been busy. The American Legion State Tournament going on this past week. Last time we met was on a Wednesday, but we're getting back into the flow. It's good to be back here with you guys, and well, even though we had a lot of fun at the American Legion State Tournament, but it's good to be back in perfect air conditioning, and you know, and
right.
On a day like today, I am not mad to be in an air conditioned building.
I'm not mad at all.
No, but we had a great time. People were great there, but it's good to be back here, and got a lot to talk about, a ton to talk about. Let's go with the big story from this past weekend. To the British Open, Scotty Scheffler brings home his fourth major. Pretty dominating fashion. Kind of turned it on Friday. Was great Saturday. Even better Sunday. Wins his fourth major. Is he one leg short of the Grand Slam, or is he two?
Yes, one leg.
Two.
He's got the Masters. That's what he got earlier this year.
right?
2 PGAs, a U.S. Open.
US Open so he's at the Tom Watson.
Yeah.
He's at the Tom Watson.
No,
You're right.
He does.
Yeah.
He is one away. Yeah, he's one away.
But I mean, just domination. He's not even 30 years old yet, and he is on a tear right now.
Yeah, and I think I said U.S. Open. He's got the Open. He needs the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just got that skill set that is just completely complementary to each other. I mean, he's going to have his off days like everybody does. But when he's on, he is on, and he is going to dominate the field. And he showed it right there in Northern Ireland that he can get it done, and get it done in amazing fashion. And we're talking about this before he went on. What was the number of days?
1,197 days from his first major championship to his fourth, which is the exact same as Tiger Woods.
Exact same as Tiger Woods.
And that's good company.
It's very good company, but it's just, like I said, he's got the skill set necessary. He's going to have off days. Everybody has off days, but he is making a case very, very early on in his career that he is one of the great golfers of possibly all time before it's all said and done.
He's won 2 Masters, a PGA and the Open.
And the Open.
Finished second in 2022 in the U.S. Open.
Yes.
So he's got kind of a Phil Mickelson thing going on right now.
Yep.
But that's the thing, like, Sunday when he won, it wasn't even close. I mean, it was him and then the rest of the party. I mean, it's incredible. It's not like he's, Rory at the Masters, just barely scraping by. I mean, he's putting on a show and he knows it.
Well, the thing is, when you see the beginning of that final round, I mean, it was just like, it's over.
He's locked in.
He's locked. It's immediately over. If he went out and he went like bogey, par, bogey, and maybe another, but you're like, oh, okay. What's going on here? But no, he came out hot, and he immediately showed it.
Yeah, it's unreal just overall, like what he can do when he's locked in. I mean, we saw, like you said, Friday he looked really good, and then he just got better on Saturday and looked unbelievable on Sunday. And like y'all say, he was just overall locked in. And at that point, it was basically, like the Larry Bird who's coming in second at this point, because we all knew it felt like the complete domination from Scotty.
Yeah.
And the thing, I've thought a lot about this, because ever since Tiger had his run and then, ruined it with one drunken night after Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving night, it was probably already ruined by that point anyways, but, when he hasn't, he's won one major since that night.
Yeah, it was like the Masters, I think.
Yeah, Masters 2020.
It was a great time. But, Rory's had his moments. Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Schauffele, DeChambeau, where these guys go on these runs where they win about 2-3 majors, and it makes you go, okay, is this the next Tiger? And I'm getting kind of some of these flashbacks. Like Tiger's reign of dominance was so good, just like Jack. Jack's reign of dominance was really good. And what most people don't realize, like, Jack won how many majors? 17 majors. But he finished second place 19 times, which is the most of anybody to finish second place in a major. You know, is this going to be the next guy that gets really great, dominates for a 2 to 3 year span, and then is just kind of you'll be lucky to win a major, and if you do, you're going to do it like you're falling apart. You're the best one round, you're falling apart the next round, and then that final round is like Rory at the Masters.
I think the next year will be very telling. If he can get another major or two in that span, then maybe we're looking at the next Tiger. But like you mentioned, all those guys, Koepka, DeChambeau, they have these runs for a couple months where you're like, oh, okay, this could be the next guy, and then they kind of fall off a cliff, and they're middle of the pack for another couple of years until they maybe get one. But
the thing that I would lean towards no on that right now is look at how he's doing outside of the majors.
Right.
Is obviously everybody focuses in on the majors because that's your telling. That's your championships. That's going to tell whether you are set apart from the rest of the field. And I do think he's set apart from the rest of the field, but you look at what he's done this year. I mean, he's had multiple wins already on tour outside of the majors. And correct me if I'm wrong. I know you probably have to go back and look at stats and everything, but I want to say when you're talking about a Brooks Koepka, a Bryson DeChambeau, some of those, they don't really show up much in the other tournaments, and it's just the majors that they end up showing up in.
He's got 17
DeChambeau,
PGA
I know
Tour. He's got 17 PGA Tour wins, and he started in 2018. So 7 years, he's got 17 wins on top of the 4 major wins. So and then the 10 others in other tours. So he's 27 wins.
He's winning, and he's winning outside of the majors. So that's where I'm with
separated Tiger and everybody.
I feel like that's where he's separating himself from having that DeChambeau or Brooks Koepka kind of idea or kind of aura, if you will, that they only have just the majors as opposed to just maybe a handful of other wins. I think that he's really separating himself from that. Now, I agree with what you said. Well, let's see what happens next year. Is he going to maybe slow down a little bit? I feel like everybody generally slows down some, but is he still able to win?
Well, that's the thing. I kind of assumed after the 2 Masters that he would maybe have that sophomore slump kind of deal, and he really never slowed down. So I'm about to say, from what we've seen so far, it doesn't look like there's any signs of slowing down, but looking at some of those other guys, the same thing could have been said. But again, I'm with you. I'm leaning towards no, that we're seeing something really special in front of us.
Once he gets that Grand Slam, I think time will tell.
That'll put him in that next echelon.
If he does, keyword
Tom Watson film, just some of the greatest ever never got that. And I think the way Scheffler handles the pressure reminds me a lot of Jack, and it reminds me a lot of Tiger, where you're literally Rory just got the Grand Slam, and he's just melting down in front of us.
Yes.
Koepka didn't handle it well. The Jordan Spieth definitely didn't.
No.
Well, but and Scotty's just so even keel, and he's so just it's very Jack Nicklaus. Where it's like, okay, I won. Now it's on to the next. And Tiger had that. Jack had.
Look at how he acted when he won.
Yeah.
There was no arms pumping up and everything. He shook hands and immediately went to his family.
He
gave, I think, one little fist pump or something like that. He just won the Open, his first Open. He was like, okay, just another day.
And he did need some spectacular round, even though he was so consistent.
It's almost like the whole thing was.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, to some NBA news that happened while we were gone. Dame Lillard is going back home, so to speak, to Portland. So the failed experiment in Milwaukee is officially over. I should say before it even got started, because he was so hurt the whole time. We don't even know if he was there or not. So he is going back to Portland, and that's kind of been the big NBA news, I guess you could say, while we've been gone.
And I feel like it was strange the amount of money they gave him. Now, I again, you think Lillard, 3 years, $42 million, you're like, oh, that's not much, but he's hurt. You're not going to get him for this year, and he's still getting $20 million a year, around that much from the Bucks. So, I mean, you could have gotten this guy for a veteran minimum, and you're still paying him. But I was talking to you about it at lunch. I think this is probably his last contract. He just wants a last little hoorah with the Trailblazers, and it may not be spectacular, obviously, because he's 36 now, coming off.
He's getting up there,
and he'll be coming off a torn Achilles. So it'll be tough. But I am happy to, for nostalgia's sake, I'm happy he's back in Portland.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and it is going to be interesting to see how he actually performs, and I think regardless of whether he actually has a good year or just kind of he's getting up there and he's there, I'm happy regardless because I'm with you. I like being able to see him back there, and at least I'm not saying that he's going to just completely crap the bed this year, but I do think there will be some games where he looks pretty good. He's going to maybe get like a double-double or something like that. So it's
I hope almost 40.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm hoping he ends his career well with Portland because looking at them in the early 2010s, the injury problems they had. Brandon Roy injury problems, Greg Oden injury problems, LaMarcus Aldridge same thing, and they have all these stars that never got to reach their full potential because of injuries. And Dame was that guy. He got to that next level. He got them to a conference finals. And I'm glad he's kind of going back home, so to speak.
Yeah, that organization hasn't been the same since the Lakers made that great comeback with Shaq and Kobe. It's broke the whole organization.
Well, I think just overall, when you look at Damian Lillard, I think he's, in my opinion, he's going to go down as the greatest Portland Trailblazer player to ever go through that organization. Obviously, they drafted him, had great moments, never got to a championship, but then again, it's like what I told you. You're in Portland, you can't rely on free agency to build your team. You have to rely on the draft, and you have to rely on those undrafted or those role players, something like that. But overall, I think it's I still think his heart really was in Portland, even though he was in Milwaukee. His family lives in Portland, so overall, that was a family decision for Damian Lillard. And like y'all said, I don't think he's going to have like that 25 to 30 point per game year anymore. I mean, he might be a 17 to 19 points per game scorer, but then again, like I said, I'm with you. I think they probably could have got him at more of a discount price, but
especially with the team needing to rebuild, I feel like that was a lot of money wasted on something that you're not going to get to use this year, obviously.
And you bought out DeAndre Ayton too.
Well, and you have Drew Holiday on the roster. That could be a little bit of a point guard controversy with two old guys, which is kind of not a problem you want to have if you're a franchise that's kind of struggling to get back on the up.
You really don't have a young future. I mean, you got Scooter Henderson and Sharp, and that's really it.
But I would say, and they had Anthony Simons and then traded him for Drew Holiday.
From Boston.
Not great. Well, guys, NFL news: the Giants have already named Russell Wilson the starting quarterback, so Russ is going to have a chance to cook. To start.
Well, I would say I told both of y'all Jackson Dart's first pass today on 11-on-11 was a pick six. So I think the decision was made after that play. But
and we're going with Russell Wilson.
I say, because who all's in there? Who's in their quarterback room? It's Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart.
Do they still got Tommy DeVito?
I think
so. I think he's still there.
I know Winston's in there as well. I think there's another quarterback they've got in there. But yeah, I think Russell Wilson probably is the safest bet overall. I don't know if he'll finish the season as the number one. Probably not, in my opinion.
But I think he's cooked.
Right now they have Russell Wilson listed to their starter, Winston backup, Dart third, and then DeVito fourth.
I mean, if for some reason I'm with you, kind of, I think maybe give it towards the middle of the season, and then they might flip it to someone else. But you don't have bad backups, so I'm not saying that I still feel like Russell Wilson's going to give you your best chance, but if you have to flip to somebody else, I don't think it's a bad decision to make. I still think there's talent there that can be good.
And see, that's the thing. If they start off the season hot, I don't know if they've done that recently, but if they start off, say 3-1, 4-0, something like that with Russell Wilson, keep him in there. But if you start the season 2-4, 1-5, something like that,
I just
throw Jameis out there and he'll give you 30 touchdowns and 30 picks and probably 4,000 yards. It'll be fun to watch.
Exactly. At that quarterback group, I just don't think that you need to throw Jackson Dart in there because, in my opinion, between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, those are not the greatest mentors in the NFL when it comes to quarterbacks. So I don't think
good
Jackson
That's
Dart. That's my only concern for Dart.
Yeah,
And then they get the Cali boy that went to Ole Miss in there.
yeah.
So-
Yeah, you make a good point though, especially with Jameis Winston, and yet we've seen that he can just have insane numbers.
And
where
he's fun.
He's fun.
That game
Yeah.
that he played in the snow in Cleveland, I don't remember if it may have been against the Steelers or something like that. And he went out there before the game. He's like, "Man, it's a blessing from God to play in the snow tonight." And I don't know if he had a good game, but I think the Browns won it, and it was fun.
They did.
It was fun.
Yeah, but think of this as something that they could do if we're talking about just flip it from Russell Wilson and get to somebody else. What if they end up finding out that there might be some kind of like a diamond in the rough with having a 2-quarterback system and have him and Jameis Winston kind of having some sets? I know it's never worked, but
It never works till it does.
Call me crazy, but I feel like if it was going to work, Jameis Winston could be the guy to make it work.
And see, the reason I think like that is like ever since, well, even like the last couple of years of Eli Manning there, it just felt like New York football is just kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Like it's always a cold, cloudy day in East Rutherford, and they're getting killed by the Eagles.
They give you one good year, like a couple years ago, where they went into Minnesota and beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, this is going to be the new franchise, and then it's like 5-12, and then 4-13.
So at least if you throw Winston in there, you might go 5-12 or 4-13, but the fans might have a little bit more fun with it.
Yeah.
Other NFL news before we go to the break. Looks like the Jaguars are planning to use Travis Hunter, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. He's been primarily practicing with offense. They're about to switch him over to defense, and they do plan to use him on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Pretty unprecedented at the NFL.
I think so, especially because everybody, we look at so many. I say so many. There's been a handful of those both sides of the ball players in college. And when they make that transition to the NFL is like, you pick one side or the other. We'll help you with that to choose, but you pick one side or the other. I really think that's a good decision for Jacksonville because he is probably their best athlete on that field and
on both sides
of the ball. And you cannot say no to that to say you have to pick one side or the other. I think it's definitely a little unprecedented now in today's game in the NFL, but you cannot give up that athleticism on both sides of the ball, and I think that's a good choice.
Well, you saw the Cowboys do this in the late 90s with Deion. They gave him some run at receiver for a little bit, but it wasn't like a full-time thing. I'm not going to knock it till I see it because everybody thought Shohei Ohtani coming in was going to have to pick pitching or hitting, and he's one of the best at both now. So I do think the NFL's a bit more physically demanding, and especially at a position
you don't
like
hit as well. You could get hit, but that's it. Yeah,
you're not getting slammed as a pitcher typically. So I think this will be fun for a year or two, but I don't think this is going to be something we're going to see long term for his sake physically.
I think the organization needs to make that decision because that's hard to put in on him. You just
because if you're going to let him make the decision, he's never going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, and he's. You give him a couple years to see what he's better at.
Yeah,
and then that's when you lean into.
I think you have to at least be able to see both sides of it. You have to give him that chance that we're going to give you both sides of the ball. Let's see how it goes. And I agree. I think once you get maybe year 2 or 3, unless it's just he's phenomenal on both sides,
you have to look at a different picture too. From the perspective I go to is you traded up to get him at number 2, and you don't have your first round draft pick next year. So at the mock draft I looked at earlier today, it's got Cleveland at 1 with their pick, and then they've got number 10 for Jacksonville. And that's basically for Travis Hunter. So I mean I get it. Like Travis Hunter, that's one of those guys that just
you can't pass on.
You can't pass on him. Yeah, he's just one of those diamonds in the rough right there, or not diamond in the rough, but he's just one of those gems out there in the NFL draft that you just couldn't pass up on. So you got to look at every aspect to make sure to get the prime and the best out of him.
Yeah, I would say, and the only time you really see a player kind of play both sides of the ball, at least in the current day, somewhat current day NFL, like Julian Edelman when he was making his come up through the Patriots. Danny Amendola was their slot receiver, Wes Welker was their slot receiver, so he was going and playing some corner and safety. But again, I don't think this is something that we'll see long term. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years until they decide, okay, hey, you're going to be a receiver, and then they draft a defensive back. Or you're going to be a defensive back, we'll draft a receiver.
But the fact that they're giving that a chance, I think, is the good decision because he has proven he can play both sides of the ball. let's see that, and then I'm with you. Get to the point where it's like, all right, well, which is the better side, because we're going to need to draft somebody to compensate for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, coming up next, guys, we had some controversy in the WNBA over the weekend. We'll put our thoughts into it when we return.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you, because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
Pat's Cafe and Catering has been proudly serving customers in Lawrenceburg since 1987. For 4 generations, our family-run cafe has served up delicious breakfast and lunch favorites, with friendly service and a welcoming atmosphere. We also offer full-service catering and can help to make your next party or event a success. For great food and friendly faces, visit us today at Pat's Cafe and Catering.
Efficiency, reliability, accuracy. Move forward with your real estate sale or purchase with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County, the most experienced closing team around. Working with clients locally and throughout the state, we offer a wide range of services, including the expertise of an on-staff attorney, backed by our more than 49 years experience in titles and closings. We get the job done on time at a fair price and ensure every last detail is correct. Our goal is to give you peace of mind. When you work with us, you work with people who live where you do. We understand the importance of the real estate community and strive to build strong relationships with all parties involved in the process. Whether you're buying a home, selling a business, acquiring land, or anything in between, you're in good hands with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County.
Put the most experienced closing team on your side. Contact Title and Escrow of Lawrence County today.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Hayden Burks, and Michael Marks. Over the weekend, the WNBA had their All-Star Game. It was very NBA-esque, which is why they're asking for NBA money right now. But, the big controversy wasn't the game, even though the game was not great. Because no one played defense, even though prior years it was pretty competitive. Like they were trying. This past year they just were not. And the big thing is they came out in the T-shirts saying "Pay us what you owe us," and that has certainly gotten a lot of people's attention. And everybody has got an opinion.
The thing that I will say first is I completely get what they want.
Right.
And I'm not against that. No. I think we should all, anybody who is in the working class or playing sports or anything, if they feel like they deserve more, okay, that's fine. That's what you want. Yeah. Go for it. The problem is, and I think we talked about this before, from a business aspect, they don't have the money to do that. Right now they don't. I'm not saying that they won't later on. I hope that they do later on, so these ladies can get what they do deserve. But if they get those contracts that they want right now, the WNBA will cease to exist within a handful of years because they don't have the money. They are coming in each year with a $4 million deficit, I think is what it is.
Somewhere around there.
They're losing $4 million. Bless you. 40. Sorry, $40 million. I knew I had a 4 in it. Yeah. They're losing $40 million a year, and the NBA is compensating with that and keeping them afloat. So, from a business aspect, you cannot give them what they rightfully deserve, unfortunately. It's the same situation just like any company. If you're having a startup company and you need 3 employees and you bring in, say, $100,000 a year or whatnot, well, your employees are going to only be able to get maybe $25,000 to $30,000 a year. And you can't, unless you grow, you cannot give that money. So I understand what they're getting at. I'm behind them because I know that they do deserve more, but the problem is they're playing for an organization in the WNBA that unfortunately cannot give them that.
I would say, and I know that they're also trying to grow the game a little bit with expansion teams and stuff like that, but they're I hate to say this because they're going to have to pick one or the other. They're either going to have to work on expanding the league and then players getting paid less, or cut, because in 2028 I believe there's supposed to be 16 teams by then. I hate to say it, but cut back to 12, cut back to 10, and then your players can start getting paid more, grow the game a little more in a little more of a compact scale, and then branch out. They're trying to expand without necessarily the funds to do so, and it's underpaying players because WNBA athletes are the least paid professional athlete by a pretty substantial margin because they're making high 5, low 6-figure sums, and when guys in the NBA are making $75 million a year.
I mean, it's just my head. It just got it's a lot to kind of look at both sides of the 8 ball. Like I said, I'm with you, Taylor. When it comes to getting your money that you deserve, you feel like you deserve, go get it. Go get, do what you need to do to go get that money. But I'm also with you on the fact of you got to kind of look at the overall picture of where you want the league to be. The WNBA, they've had a lot of success these past few years when it comes to building the brand of the WNBA, and also just the overall fact of the players that have, kind of escalated the play in the WNBA with Caitlin Clark, names like that. But you just look at the overall picture of where I guess their mindset is of, okay, maybe we need to get more teams in the league. And it's mind-boggling, really. So like I said, it's just still overall a lot to take in from my point of view, because I'm still trying to get a feel for what's the long-term goal here? Like, where are they going to be able to come up with? So, like I said, that's just kind of my idea of it right now.
To give kind of some of the backstory, so they're in CBA negotiations. So they have a new media deal, $2.2 billion, I think it is. So but that doesn't go into effect till next year. So in the CBA, as of right now, they get the players get 9% of revenue, which is by far the lowest of any league. I agree with them; they should get a bigger part of that.
Yes, for sure.
I'm in favor of 30%. I wouldn't mind them getting 40%. I agree that they deserve that because part of that is because of them. Some of that is just the league in general, and some of that is the jersey that you represent and the team you represent. So I am all for it. I fully agree 9% is ridiculous. They certainly deserve that. But one of the other shirts said we deserve NBA money, but you're not bringing in NBA money.
And that's where the argument comes in.
Like Caitlin Clark making $78,000 is ridiculous.
Oh yes.
Like, okay, you want to sign her to a $5 million deal? I'm fine with that. But last person on the bench, that should be your $78,000. $78,000 is pretty good money for someone that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But Caitlin Clark is doing great things. Like
well, that's the thing. She's making like 90% of her money from advertising deals and stuff like that.
The Asia Wilsons of the world. Yeah, that should be $1 million player. Kelsey Plum, Breonna Stewart. I can list all of Inescu. Those should be your $1 million players. But everybody else, I'm okay with you making over $100,000, but you don't deserve to make $1 million. To be realistic, there should be a decent salary cap to where you can play. If you want to pay somebody what they're worth, then pay them what they're worth. And I do agree that they should get a piece of this pot. But also, you also got to realize they have to realize like these organizations have been operating at a loss since day one.
Yep.
It's not just the WNBA, it's the actual organization. Yeah. So they're going to get a piece of this pot. Yes, I understand that. And they probably want to pay off some of those losses that they've accumulated. Yeah. But I do believe there is there's never going to be a perfect happy medium, but I think there is a happy medium where the players can be at least settled and be okay with it, and both sides can be okay with, instead of both sides being pissed off at each other. Yeah. But NBA money, you can sink a franchise, and then at the end of the day, you're playing a half of what the games of the NBA plays. Yeah. So of course, maybe if they play some more games, that might generate some more revenue. Who knows? But
well, that's the thing. They don't want to. The NBA and the WNBA don't want to step on each other's toes when it comes to scheduling. Yeah. But I think it almost falls back on to the. I feel like the media needs to give them a little more airway, so to speak, because if you've watched the WNBA game, the product is not it's not what you see on Twitter with everybody calling it a terrible product. It's a good product.
Yes, it is.
It's as good as it's ever been.
Very competitive.
And it's a very good product now. But the thing is, they're not getting these money, and most of these players are having to go play overseas after the season's over, just so they can keep generating money, because you can't live off of $75,000 over a year.
Yeah.
In these big cities.
Exactly.
Around here, that's reasonable, but.
And for the love of all things sacred and holy, can they quit picking on Caitlin Clark? Good God, they cannot get out of their own way. Like there's a company that produces these shirts, and I in a lot of ways agree with you. Women's sports are now. Yes, they are now. As long as you don't get it, if you can get out of your own way, they are now.
Yeah.
And right now they're not getting out of their own way. Like Kelsey Plum getting up there. No members of Team Clark. It's like, well, did you tell them about the meeting? Well, they wore the T-shirt, so clearly they were okay with it. Like, why can't or someone in a cake? She wouldn't sign it. Like, be better. You have to wear Sparks stuff to a Sparks game. No, they don't. Like, dude, just shut up.
Yeah.
Like, did everyone love Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan was dominating?
No.
Heck no. But did they take pot shots at him every chance that they had? No. Why? That's their cash cow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ride your cash. Play them hard. Don't let them have an
that's
easy
the thing.
bucket. Don't do what you're doing. Like, get out of your own way.
And it's the same way with, if you look at the big three with Major League Baseball, NBA, and MLB. The NFL is going to milk Patrick Mahomes until he's dry.
No one's
cheat
shotting that guy.
No, I would say they're making rules to protect him. Same thing with LeBron and Shohei Ohtani. I mean, they're going to milk these guys for as much money as they can because it's bringing in a ton of revenue to your company. And the WNBA is just like teaming up on Caitlin Clark, which is another reason why a bunch of people don't want to watch, just for that reason right there.
And then it becomes a political issue, which politics need to stay out of sports.
Yes.
But when you keep doing that, you can't escape at that point.
Yep.
So that there's just so many things wrong with that. I agree that they need to make more money. O is a little bit like no one owes you anything, especially when they're operating at a loss every year. They're operating the red. They don't owe you anything. I do agree.
I would say you could change the word "owe" to "deserve," and that would be 100% fitting.
Or
and I
pay
think
us what we earn.
Yes,
that would be way better. Because you deserve way more of that pot than what you're getting right now. Your salaries deserve to be better 100%. NBA money, no, because you're not generating.
Yeah, you can't get it.
Yeah, when the time comes, absolutely.
Well, and they're playing half as many games.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, coming up next, guys, we've had a lot of college football media days, which means preseason polls. We'll react to some of those when we return.
Want to take the next steps in taking care of your health? Tennessee Valley Allergy Services can make your goals a reality. Their team of doctors, nurses, and medical professionals are dedicated to providing allergy care and treatment, such as drops and shots, to fit your exact needs. Their expert services are for anyone ages 2 and older. Whether you struggle with environmental or food allergies, they've got you covered. Discover a better you at Tennessee Valley Allergy Services, located right next to the Zaxby's in Lawrenceburg. Book online or call 931-325-0757 to schedule your appointment today.
Mac Brown has been providing photographic services for 55 years. During that time, Mac Brown photographers have photographed children, seniors, weddings, schools, musicians, and commercial businesses. The studio takes great pride in producing quality photographs and services for its many clients. While the studio has adapted as times have changed, their goal of providing excellent photography has remained constant. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at macbrownphoto.com or give them a call at 931-762-4263. Let the professionals at Mac Brown Photography turn your memories into treasures.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
Gifts and goodies galore await you at Miss Millie's in downtown Lawrenceburg. From brands you know and love, like E. Newton Jewelry and Tyler Diva Wash, to unique specialty gifts, you will find it all here. Whether you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you love or shopping for yourself, shopping local is the way to go. We have home goods, women's fashion and accessories, baby items, and lots of seasonal decorations. Our friendly staff will welcome you in, help you find what you need, and even package your gifts for you. Also, we can't forget to tell you about our popular bridal registry. Future brides can come and create their perfect registry with us. So stop by Miss Millie's today. We're located in the northeast corner of the square in downtown Lawrenceburg.
Juarez Tile Pros and Remodeling can help you with all your home remodeling and construction needs. They specialize in custom walk-in showers and floors, and no job is too big for their expert team. Licensed and insured, call Juarez Tile Pros and Remodeling today, located in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
All right, welcome back to X Sports Live. AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Hayden Burks, and Michael Marks. Guys, it's preseason poll day, or as Steve Spurrier would call it, talking season. Most of the big leagues have gotten their preseason polls out. Let's kind of take a look at them. Let's start with the first one. Even this was going on last time we met, the Big 12 media poll. Top team is Utah, even though they had a losing season a year ago. This is 2024. I'm completely way off. I am not doing good. I apologize.
I was like, okay, that's coming out of left field.
I'm going to say, hey, listen, Kyle Whittingham's still there. I'm cool with it.
I read it too. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Never count out the Utes, but I wouldn't put them at number one.
Maybe number 6.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Big Ten. At the top, you have Penn State at number 1, followed by Ohio State 2, Oregon 3, Illinois sitting at number 4.
Yeah,
and I think that's very fitting.
Yeah, I think
Brett
so.
Bielema ball's working up there.
Michigan number 5, Indiana 6, Iowa 7, Nebraska 8, USC 9, Washington 10, Minnesota 11, Wisconsin 12, Michigan State 13, Rutgers, UCLA, Maryland, Northwestern, Purdue. You get the picture.
Wow, don't tell Cignetti that they're at 6.
Yeah. Well, he might cut another Power 5 team out of their schedule.
Is there any team ranked? Any team up here you think is going to be better than what they're projecting?
Minnesota. I thought Michigan State got a lot of disrespect. I'm big on. I like Jonathan Smith because I loved him at Oregon State, and I think Aiden Childs has got a promising future. It's just I don't know what else they've really got around them. They made some games interesting at the beginning, but probably like a Minnesota because I'm a big PJ Fleck guy as well.
I think they're going to be pretty good this year.
I don't know why, but staying in the state of Michigan, just Michigan. I mean, I don't know.
They're coming off beating Ohio State and Alabama, and they got the number one quarterback in the country coming in.
I would not count them out one bit.
Well, are they 5 or are they 6?
They're 5.
They're 5.
And they're
probably put them at 4.
I was listening to a podcast while running this morning. They have the best returning defense in the country. Their defense in the last month of last season was statistically the best in the country, with pretty much all those guys coming back.
They got better as the season went on, and if they can continue that trend into this season, I'm with you. Bump up to 4, maybe 3. I still think Ohio State and Penn State deserve. You could probably flop them between 1 and 2. But don't count out Michigan, especially with what they got coming back.
Their passing attack was 4th worst in the country. Can you guess the other 3?
The service academies.
All 3 of them were the only ones worse than Michigan. If they had
that's the thing is all they were missing was someone who could throw a forward pass. And,
exactly.
And Bryce Underwood has apparently been killing it in spring practices or summer practices. Now, again, we can take those with a grain of salt because everybody thought Joe Milton and Nico were going to be great for Tennessee, and they weren't. But I'll be able to tell you September 20th how I feel. You get Illinois and Indiana playing that week. That will. I think that game's going to be for 3rd place in the Big Ten.
So, question for all you guys: you got Penn State up at the top. If you look at their season going forward, you think, okay, this is probably should be a good team for them. If they have another season where they lose to Michigan and or Ohio State, and they end up not making a playoff run, is James Franklin out?
I don't think so.
It wouldn't shock me because he is the only person so far really that hasn't been able to overcome the can't win the big game guy things, because when he got to a big game last year with Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl in the college football playoff semifinal, he blew it.
Yeah.
And this year he's got Oregon on his schedule, he's got Ohio State on his schedule, he's got Indiana on his schedule.
Yeah.
He's got to win. He's got to win 2 of those 3.
The thing is,
they can't go 10-2 this year and be comfortable because you got Drew Aller, who's supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft, or a 7th round pick, depending on who you talk to. Who actually watches Penn State and who doesn't. And they've got Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, all these defensive weapons. They got a new. There'll be Andy Sokolnicki's 2nd year at Penn State with the OC. It's now or never. Last year I felt like Ohio State was that team that had to win it last year, or they were going to be in some serious troubles just because of how much they spent on their roster. I feel like it's going to be Penn State this year, especially with stealing Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator from Ohio State.
I think Indiana's going to take a step back.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I mean, much tougher schedule. even though that
I think it might be easier.
Almost. I just think that they caught lightning in a bottle last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to be like 6-7 by any stretch of the imagination. I think this is more like an 8-7 win team than it is more a 10-11 win.
Well, that's the thing. We'll be talking about Indiana a little bit on our show because there's some things Kurt Signetti said, but. This last year was their first time they'd ever won more than 9 games. And the years those won 9 games, 1967 and 1945.
Yeah.
So, but again,
they're riding the lightning.
Yeah.
And Illinois,
I'm high on them.
I know a lot of people are, but when you look at this, you get Michigan. Oregon's going to be really good. They're going to be a potential playoff team. Michigan, if they can get their offense right, it's going to be a potential playoff team. Where does Illinois fit in this? Because
the thing is Illinois only has to play Indiana and Ohio State. That's all they have to play. They don't play Oregon. They don't play Penn State. They don't play Michigan. They've avoided a lot of the big games this year. So I think if and Illinois is going to sneak into the playoff, this would be the year.
Well, speaking of the SEC, they had their preseason poll come out. So Texas at the top, followed by Georgia, Bama, LSU, South Carolina, Florida, Ole Miss, A&M, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Auburn, Missouri, Vandy, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Mississippi State.
I don't think South Carolina was ever projected that high when Steve Spurrier was there.
No.
I think they're projected
Never
high.
underestimate the Beamer
now.
Bowl.
Yeah, and see, I love Shane Beamer. I think he's that weird, goofy uncle that everybody's got that's fun. But there's no way they don't take a step back this year. Now, listen, I love Lenore Sellers. I think he's going to have a great year. They're in the SEC, and a lot of those games that they're like, oh, they lost this because of one play. Well, there's a couple of games that they won because of one play,
exactly.
And I think that's going to start flipping again.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think they'll win 8 games, but I don't think that they're that 10-win team that sneaks into the playoff.
Yeah. Where's Missouri at?
They're down towards the bottom.
12.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
But I'm like you. I think South Carolina's way too high. I just find it weird. Texas.
Well,
they got awful in the Big 12 over the last decade, and now here they are in the SEC. Projected
Well, South Carolina has to go to LSU, and that's going to be a rampant crowd because especially how that game went last year. They got to play Alabama. They got to go to Kyle Field. They got to play Clemson, who's going to be mad about how last year went. Now, again, they don't have to play Georgia. They don't have to play Texas. So they avoid some of the big dogs, but it's going to be a tough season.
Yeah.
The thing,
especially with and they had to replace a lot on defense, guys, and that's what made them so good last year.
I'm fine with the top 3. I really think it's going to come down to Texas. Georgia was second, and then Bama, right? I think it is going to come down to those 3. I wouldn't be shocked if you had another team kind of in the middle of the pack there that might end up being a little.
Ole Miss.
I would say Ole Miss is that team for me.
Auburn's kind of at the bottom. It's every other year.
It's every other year.
This could be it.
Nah, I ain't believing
But
I never do, and then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere.
I wouldn't be shocked if you had like an LSU or some Ole Miss, especially kind of overperform a little bit.
So,
and see, I'm high on Ole Miss because every time that they are transitioning to a new quarterback, everybody's like, oh, they're going to take that step back, and then they get Jackson Dart. Oh, they're going to take a step back. Then Matt Corral shows up. I'm high on Austin Simmons, and I think,
that's
the this is another thing we'll talk about on our show. Their big non-conference game is Washington State. They do not have a hard schedule at all. They don't play Alabama.
Is it at Ole Miss or they have to?
It's at Ole Miss.
So it's a win.
I would say those guys are going to be traveling from the other side of the country.
You make a point with the quarterbacks. That's the Lane Kiffin effect. He knows exactly what buttons to push, what schemes to do, and everything with the different quarterbacks.
It's in his notebook.
But yeah, those top 3 teams. I mean, from an Alabama fan perspective, I'm looking forward to this season because I feel like you've kind of, I guess looking back on 2024 you still were a transition between Saban and DeBoer. And now it's kind of more like you're not in that transition anymore. This feels like it's more of DeBoer's team. Yeah. And as much as there's been slack and everything on Milroe, I think he could have done better than what he did. I just don't think that he had everything he needed last season. But going into this season, I really think the quarterback play will be better. And you've got a lot of talented players on that team.
Didn't they get a new offensive coordinator? Didn't they get like Seattle's offensive coordinator?
He was supposed. It was the Washington coordinator with DeBoer, and then he went pro when DeBoer went to Bama, and now they got him. He's got him back.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a big plus.
Well, and that's
year.
the thing. The first 5 weeks of the season, Kalen DeBoer made Jalen Milroe look like a very good quarterback.
He did.
It's just once they got into the thick of SEC play, those numbers started looking a little gaudy.
Yeah.
I just remember against Tennessee, he threw Ryan Williams the ball 22 times.
Yeah.
And he caught the ball 7 times.
Yeah, he was just too inconsistent that what they needed.
Yeah. Quickly through the ACC, Clemson at 1. You got Miami at 2.
Yeah.
SMU 3. Louisville 4. Pitt 5.
Whoa.
Which means we'll finish below that. Florida State 6. Georgia Tech 7. I think Georgia Tech is much better.
Yeah, they're like a 3 or 4 in my opinion.
Yeah. Virginia Tech 8. Duke 9, NC State 10, North Carolina, which a lot of people are really high on North Carolina. Listening to a couple podcasts this morning while running, a lot of people think that that's an 8-9 win team, and the schedule outside of Clemson is not terrible.
Yeah. Don't count out Belichick.
Yeah, Virginia 12, Boston College 13, Cal 14, which I think they'll finish in the bottom of the league. Syracuse, who won 10 games last year. Sitting at 15, but they lost a lot. They lost a ton.
But that's if you look at it from the outside looking in, okay, they were a 10-win team last year. They had a 4,500-yard passer at quarterback, and they're getting a guy coming in at quarterback who played in a playoff game last year. Steve Angeli played a quarter and a half against Penn State and kept Notre Dame in that game.
Yeah,
and really got them going. They had nothing going early in that game.
He was
so
a spark.
I think Syracuse is going to be a lot better than people say, even though they're 4th, I think Louisville's a little low. I love Jeff Brom. Yeah. I mean, and he's been really good with these one-year transfer quarterbacks. I mean, his first year, Jack Plummer was really good for them. They had a 10-win season last year with Tyler Shuck, and then this year, probably my favorite of the 3 quarterbacks he'll have had so far, Miller Moss from USC. Kid can sling it. He was stuck on USC last year, and Lincoln Riley coach teams. That says enough for you. But I'm really high on Miller Moss in Louisville this year.
A lot of people love Clemson. Got 16 returning starters, including your quarterback, and a lot off of Clemson's always going to have good defenses. Yeah. Schedule wise, though, I mean their two toughest games are their non-conference games. Starting off with LSU and at the end of the year against South Carolina. If they can get through ACC play pretty much unscathed and win one of those 2 games. That's a playoff team that might win a game.
Their road conference games are Georgia Tech, UNC, Boston College, and Louisville.
The only thing I would circle would be Georgia Tech.
Yeah, because again they got Haynes King back, love Brent Key. I think they could be sneaky. You said they were at 6 or 7.
Who's it?
Georgia Tech.
7. They were at 7. Yeah.
No, they got to go like 3 or 4.
Way higher than that. And
what was Miami?
2.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be interesting to watch them this year.
Carson Beck's their quarterback.
Now, listen.
I am very interested to see how that goes.
Okay, I am actually really high on Carson Beck because he got away from Mike Bobo. That dude ruined quarterbacks in Georgia. Yeah. And listen, he was the quarterback for the team that had the most drop passes in the country. If he could just get a guy to just catch a ball.
Yeah.
And he already threw for 35.
That was the thing. I think a lot of
his coach though, so they're going to
run it with 20 seconds go.
But you make a great point to where you go back and look. There were a lot of passes that he threw that were right on the money, and they just dropped them.
Right.
Yeah,
and he also made some the Ole Miss game was.
I would say Ole Miss and Florida. He looked terrible in those games.
Yeah,
but other than that, I mean, I think it was those 2 games he threw 6 combined, 4 combined in interceptions, something like that. It was a 4-game stretch where he threw all 12 of his picks last year, and the rest of the games he was flawless.
You're going to find out this year actually who the true Carson Beck can be, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, coming up next, guys, we tried to find the Big 12 poll, but it made my iPad crash at the time, so I think that's a sign from the good Lord that we need to move on from that part. Coming up next, this guy's got a theory about his Braves. We'll see if that will work here in our final segment coming up.
The Summit of Lawrenceburg is the premier senior and assisted living community in the region. The Summit makes it home for you or your loved one with diverse suites that welcome and encourage community, plus gathering spaces, neighborhoods, daily activities, and a wonderful staff that supports you every day.
Hi, I'm Tara Blue. I'm the new director of the Summit, and we would like to invite you and your family to come and tour our facility. We would love to see you here.
State Line Garage Doors, owned and operated by Justin Gobble, is your trusted local expert in garage door services. Based in Lawrence County, Tennessee, State Line Garage Doors is built on over a decade of hands-on experience, providing reliable repairs, replacements, and installations for all types of garage doors, residential and commercial. They proudly serve our community and the surrounding areas. When you work with State Line Garage Doors, you're not just another job, you're part of our community. Their commitment to quality, transparency, and craftsmanship is at the heart of what they do, and they offer free estimates. State Line Garage Doors. Reach out to discover the difference a company with local roots can make for your home and business.
Hey Lawrenceburg, looking for something new? Come to Happy G's, located at 210 East Gaines Street. We have pitching machines, batting cages, and even indoor golf. Powered by TrackMan, our system is perfect for practice or play. With over 300 courses as well as multiple mini games, it is perfect for all ages and abilities. We even offer packages for group events such as birthday parties and business lunches. So let's go! Come get your game on indoors at Happy G's.
Southern Craft Manufacturing is dedicated to creating the finest quality and greatest value products in the death care industry. Southern Craft has perfected blending old world craftsmanship with modern manufacturing technologies to create a full line of steel, wood, and corrugated caskets. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, Southern Craft is now looking to hire local and regional truck drivers, welders, and production workers, each with great starting pay and a benefits package. For more information, visit southerncraftmfg.com. There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-Service Towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down, or their 24/7 availability. You can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
I'm Mike Keith, and my friends at Elliott Johnson Insurance have a great partner in Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners makes it easy to get life, home, car, or business insurance. Let Elliott Johnson Insurance find the Auto Owners policy that makes a difference in your life. Call Elliott Johnson Insurance at one of their 3 locations, Florence, Loretta, and Lawrenceburg. Elliott Johnson Insurance, moving forward for our clients every day.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good, Taylor Plott, Hayden Burks, and Michael Marks closing out the show. Okay, this guy's got a theory about the Braves. Just let it roll. Just go cook, Taylor.
So imagine y'all have heard of 680 The Fan before, out of Atlanta, and they always have, I think it's like one of their big sports morning shows. And so I was kind of scrolling through social media earlier, and I saw one of their posts, and I'm blanking on who the guy is, and he gives an idea. And I'll go ahead and say this, especially with the way that the Braves are going this year, the ideas are now getting kind of crazy. But this one, I kind of almost... They need to. But this one got me thinking a little bit. And his idea is Spencer Strider, move him from a starting role. I heard that.
I'm not even hungry. I don't know what that was.
Move him from a starting role and make him from what he quoted as the Thor or God of the bullpen. And what he means by that is over like a 10-day or 10-game stretch, 10-day stretch, whatever it is, use him a handful of times. And instead of having a 7th-inning guy, 8th-inning guy, and 9th-inning guy, he is that guy. And he goes either 6 to 9, 7 to 9, however he needs in those games that, you know what, the Braves are up 5-3 right now. There's a run or two cushion. Give him the ball and let him shut down the other team. And I initially went and I watched the video, and I'm just in my mind thinking, that just sounds crazy. But then as more he talked about it and the more I thought about it, it was like, you know what? If someone was going to do that, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Okay. Because you look at the games now today. Not a good game. They were down 7-0 at one point. What did you say? It was 9-3. So I
didn't want to mention that.
That wouldn't have done anything. But you look at the game, especially the Braves' 1-run record. Mm-hmm. It's like
worse than the league.
It's like 15-30 or something like that. If you end up in a lot of those leads or those games, the Braves have a lead going into like the 6th, 7th, 8th inning. I was just about to say,
how many times has it been the 7th inning and the Braves are up, like you said, 5-3, and then the bullpen has to put
and then the bullpen has, and then all of a sudden you're losing by 1 run.
Right.
And I know that Strider's still kind of coming back and trying to become who he was before, and I think he can get most of it back. I don't think we get all of it back, especially with the velocity. Mm-hmm. But you look at some of the games that he's had where he's struggled. He's usually struggled towards the middle part of his outing. Every now and then he'll get roughed up in the first inning, and then he's fine. But
once you get to like the second time around, the heart of the order,
exactly, he starts kind of
figures it out.
They're right.
Yeah.
So, but if you moved him to that bullpen role, I mean, like I said, it's a crazy idea. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like,
well, instead of him going out there and starting and throwing 100 pitches every 5 days, maybe throwing 30 pitches every 2 days.
That's what I'm saying.
Every other day.
If he went out 3 times for like every 10 days, and just they're games that we have right here, we need to shut them down. Strider comes and gives you 3 innings.
So,
because
another college high school approach.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about this during one of the breaks. This isn't a very sexy free agent market, especially with pitching. Like the best names up there are like a Sandy Alcantara, who's not had a good year at all. Dylan Cease, who's not had a good year. I think maybe the hottest name on the market pitching wise is like Seth Lugo, who is having a pretty good outing right now against the Cubs, but. Again, that's not a guy that you're going to get for a long time. That's if anybody trades for him, it's going to be a 1-year rental.
Yeah.
So, would you implement that now, or would you? Because, in my opinion, I wouldn't go for that approach unless, like, you're obviously out of the playoffs. There's no chance of getting in the wild card, which is pretty dang close at this point. Yeah. But I would say either if there's no chance of getting in, try it, and then go in the next season and see what happens.
Yeah.
But say if you 10 games left in the season, you have a chance for the wild card. Let's try it then. If we make it, then we make it. We can go on with it, or go go from there.
The thing that I would suggest is at this point, Alex Anthopoulos, the only trade. It actually came across today that there's actually been no real trade talks between between the Padres and the Braves for the Padres getting Marcell Ozuna. So that's kind of been squashed a bit today. But Alex Anthopoulos has basically said, outside of maybe moving a couple pieces, this is it. Yeah. This is who we're riding for through the end of the season. So my thought process is, even if it might sound a little bit crazy, what happens if you catch a spark? What happens if Strider ends up being a good bullpen guy and you start winning games because of it? What if you send, Ozuna somewhere, bring in somebody else? What if you did all these little things? I'm not against trying at this point. If you're saying we're riding the season the way it is, give me some changes that if it works, great. If it doesn't, you tried.
Well, that was almost what they did the year they won the World Series. Is they pretty much brought an entire, after Acuna got hurt, they pretty much brought in an entire new outfield. Eddie Rosario, Jorge Soler, Adam Duvall, Jock Peterson, those guys, and it was fun to watch. Now, again, they were
lightning in a bottle.
I would say, and with Boston, they're kind of on that fringe team where they're looking for one more pitcher, and this just isn't the market for it. So I mean, they're one of the teams that might try to buy, but there's not much there you can buy.
Wouldn't kill anybody to. Let's experiment.
I'm fine with experimenting.
If it doesn't.
Well, especially at this point, because you can almost for Atlanta, you can almost consider the season a wash. Try something. If it works, then hey, maybe we have a late spark and something crazy can happen.
That's the thing.
And get you excited for next year too.
Also, shoot, you might be an innovator. Like everyone thought Joe Madden was crazy putting his best hitter at the 2 spot.
Yep.
Now everyone in the freaking world does it when it comes to the game of baseball.
Yep.
So you never know.
You never know
until you actually try.
Yep, that is true.
Well, guys, that will do it for X Sports today. We will see you guys back here again for the same show tomorrow at 1:30. So for Taylor Plott, Hayden Burks, Michael Marks, I'm AJ Good. We got X Sports Live going down tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.